Hi guys, welcome. Today I'm going to give you, if you give me 15 minutes, I'm going to show you the best, easiest Philly cheesesteak sandwich to make at home that will blow your mind. You will never stop making it. Okay, simple ingredients. You have to have the soft hoagie roll, okay? I had to go to Publix Special to get those. Provolone cheese, a good boneless ribeye steak. This is small, and I picked it specifically because it's just for Vinny. I'm gonna make one sandwich. And chopped onions. Now, let's get them in there. I'm gonna use butter to saute them instead of oil because I want the flavor factor. I'm using the big pan here today because I need the space, and you'll see why. You could do this on the stovetop with a smaller pan. It's just, I want to show you up close. These have to get brown and golden. We want to make them just nice and caramelized. I don't know how long it'll take in here. We'll pause when we have to, but I'm going to show you the main way to do it. It's really a technique because there's a whole debate about Philly cheesesteaks. There's two places in Philadelphia that actually argue over who makes it best. Without, that's meaning you could use Cheese Whiz, you could use American cheese, you could use provolone, you could do it with onions, you could do it with onions and peppers, you could, there's a lot of variations. In this house, I'm keeping it simple. Just steak and onions on the roll with cheese. Let me get my spoon to stir them so they don't, okay, I lowered it, I didn't need to, I thought it was too high. Okay. And let these caramelize over here a little bit. Move them in because I got space. This is the reason for this is these gotta get caramelized before we can mix them with the meat. Okay? A lot of people do this with the steakums. You could do it with ribeye shavings. You could freeze a bit and shave your own ribeye. Mine is from Whole Foods and it's perfect. And here I'm gonna just cut it by hand myself and then chop it. I saw this technique from a YouTube creator years ago. Loved his idea, loved his finished product, end of story. This is the first time I'm making it in my kitchen at home. I confess I was using the Aldi shaved beef. Okay, I'm gonna keep this fat for flavor. I'm gonna chop it all in together because I like flavor and so does my hubby. It's sticking to me. Okay, see now I gotta get a really sharp knife. This has to get really small, guys. I may have to pause and come back and show you when it's real tiny because Vinny's actually filming for me today because I bribed him that I wouldn't give him. See, now I thought this was enough for just one. Apparently, I probably could feed two. I need a sharper knife. Let me just get this done because it is not doing it the way I want it to. So that's a good point for you to say. You gotta get that beef nice and chopped because the end result is going to be a sandwich with every bite has perfection. Okay, chop it like you would an onion. You probably have a better board and a better knife than me. I got to be careful because I like my fingers. I always tell you guys that, and I'm falling onto fat. Okay, I'm going to put that aside a little bit. Have to handle that with care. See? We're going to have to cut that down. Let that render down a little bit in the corner. Could always add that in. Still not small enough for me. He did it with a cleaver, I'm not that pro. I'm not that pro. And the smaller you cut the meat, the faster it's going to cook. That's the idea here. You want this to cook just as fast as steakums would. Steakums cook in seconds. All right, I think we're going to throw it into the pan at this kind of cut, okay? This size, right, Vin? That good enough bite for you? You don't need it smaller. You want to taste some beef bites. All right. Let's pause until they're caramelized. Once they're caramelized, we'll cook the meat and then put them together, add the cheese, and you're going to see the sandwich come together. So we'll pause until I put the meat in. Okay, guys, here's what it looks like. You get that meat in there. You're going to have your own style chop. It may be finer. You may want to do it a little bit smaller, whatever have you. Now you pull in the onions. Again, you want them less cooked. It's up to you. This is a personal Philly cheesesteak sandwich. This is the way we're making it in our house. Okay? And that's all there is to it. You want all the meat cooked, the onions, push it around. Now comes the fun part. The fun part is you gather it all up. I'm going to lower this because it's going to go real quick now. Okay. Got to get it close together. Now you have to use a hoagie and you cut it in half, but you leave the bottom intact. Okay. I'm going to put this closer. I don't have the right spatula, but now you put the cheese on it. You want 2 slices is enough for you? I'm going to put 2 1/2. You want it gooey. You want this gooey. I only had 2 1/2 because this little girl, let's cover it and let the cheese melt. Get our bread ready. Okay, here's the hoagie. You want it like that because we're going to put it on top of there. Okay, and we're going to swoop the sandwich right into it. That's the technique part that I worry because I have never made this before, so be kind. It's the recipe you want and the technique told to you. I don't have to perfect it. I'm not a Philly cheesesteak person working a restaurant. I'm just sharing what I think is a delicious recipe that you all will enjoy and keep and continue to make. All right, I gotta get my biggest spatula to do this. Ideally, it's that big hamburger spatula they have. I don't have one. So this is gonna be really challenging. The biggest I got is this one. Okay, let's see if our cheese is melted. Not enough. And you don't eat anything with this. We don't. We don't have any, let me get his board ready. We don't have any ketchup or anything on it. Right, Vin? You don't eat it with ketchup.
No.
Nobody does that, I know. Okay, we're gonna have to get this baby
French
out.
fries. But...
Okay. We gotta get it a little bit hotter. Come on, cheese, melt. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It will melt. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is for your purpose, intended for you guys. Yeah, there she goes. There she goes. And like I said, if I had that hamburger, the long spatula, I have one in New York, I just don't have it here. Okay, that's my problem. That's my dilemma. I gotta move the cover over there as soon as it's time. All right. I'm gonna call that cheese melted enough for me right now. Give it another second. Good enough? Yeah, by the time it meets the meat in the sandwich, we're good to go. Then what you do is, where's the bottom? Okay, here's the bottom. You take the bread, you go like that, and then you just kind of push everything over into the sandwich like this. We're gonna have to just get half of it, okay? Ideally, if I had the big spatula, it would all go in here, okay? And then you would close it up and have the best sandwich ever. Mine didn't work, it's only because of the spatula, okay? You need that big spatula to go right on in. But look at that meat. It's gonna be delicious because it's ribeye. Okay, and I'm gonna try to close it up, neaten it up, and I'm gonna cut it up. Okay, there's that. And the infamous spatula that didn't work. There it is. Now imagine this, you can have more cheese. The cheese is underneath. We're gonna put it together like that. Smells amazing. Okay. Make sure everybody's in there. There's the other side with the cheese trying to get out. It's trying to get out. Let me put it back in there. Make sure it's neat. And you could use a bigger hoagie if you wanted, you know? It doesn't have to be perfection. It really doesn't. It's a technique and a recipe. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's open her, show you what it looks like. Then get a close-up. Yum. And he's gonna go on his board. He's gonna get his napkin and a Coke, and we're gonna call it Philadelphia Comes to Florida. We had cold weather this morning. I've been at it all day. You saw my short. It was 35 degrees here. I cut veggies. I did wings in the air fryer. You gotta spend the day with me one time. I've been at it since 8 o'clock. Enjoy. Have a great Sunday, everybody. I gotta go feed him.